Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, you are very much welcome. My name is Blessing, and in this channel I post a pattern drafting and a sewing tutorial, and in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make a two method of corset. Okay, if this sounds like what you want to learn, and if you have not subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified on every video I will be posting in this channel. So guys, and if you find this video helpful, at the end of this video, give it a thumbs up, click on the like button and give it a thumbs up. Okay, so guys, without wasting of time, let's dive into this tutorial. So guys, this is my pattern paper that I will be working with. Okay, for this tutorial I will just go ahead to use my pencil, and you can see that I folded this pattern into two like so. Okay, so now I will be drafting on this, and this is my center front. All my measurements will start from here. Okay, so now before I will draft my vertical measurements, I will first of all room out my first line, and that line here will serve as my shoulder line. So guys, after ruling, I will just go ahead to mark my bust point line, chest line and my waistline. So guys, after ruling, I'll just go ahead to label out my lines. This is my chest line, my bust point line, my under bust and my waistline as well. So guys, the next step is to divide my my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I will mark what I have, and I will come over to this chest line here and mark the same thing. Then after marking now, I will just take a straight ruler here and connect the two lines together. So guys, after ruling, I will just, the next step is to take my basic neckline using 3 by 3 for my neckline, and this neckline is just a standard neckline. Okay, just a standard neckline. So now I will just go ahead to connect it using my French curve to do that. Okay, hope you are seeing this pattern because I'm using pencil for this. So this is me marking 1 inches to connect to my neckline as my shoulder slope. Okay, as a beginner you can see that our shoulder, they are not equal, so we need to slant it, and by so doing just go ahead to mark 1 inches down from the neck, from the shoulder, like so. So now I divided my bust measurement divided by 4, then I mark it, and I will look for the midpoint here and mark the midpoint. First of all, mark what I have, then I divide it into 2 and search for the midpoint there. Then now I will just come out by half an inch from that midpoint to connect my armhole. So from this half an inch I come out to it, I will just connect it down to my bust point measurement like this. Then from there I will just go ahead to connect it to my shoulder slope, just the way you see me doing now. So you can see that our armhole is well curved now. So now the next step I will be taking is to take my bust span. The bust span, if I divide my bust span into 2, I will have 3.5 inches. Bust span is also known as nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, I'll come to the bust point line like this and also mark my bust span divided by 2. Then I will just connect it from the bust point down to the waistline like this. So now we have our bust span measurement here. So now it's for me to take my under bust tightening. So for this corset, I will just go ahead to mark 1.5 for the side going to the armhole and half an inch for the center front. Okay, so now I'll repeat the same thing to the waistline like this, 1.5 for the side, while half an inch for the center front. Okay, so now I will just go ahead to straighten it with a mark it with a straight ruler like this, just where you see me marking. Okay, this is a new method I just decided to come out with. It's very okay, You can try it out and you will love this method. Okay, so now after that, for the bust point like this, I'll come down by half an inch, just half an inch. I come down by half an inch. Then after coming down by half an inch, I'll use a French curve like this to curve it to this point like this. Okay, you can just connect these 2 points together using a French curve like this. Okay, so guys, after blending out my after tightening my under bust, I'll come over to this shoulder slope like this and divide what I have there. I will just first of all measure it and I will divide it into 2 like this. After dividing, then I will just make a notch, a little notch there. Then I will connect it to meet the bust point line. So that after ruling, I will determine how low I want it. So I will be using my bust radius. The bust radius is the distance between your bust point to your under bust. So my bust radius is 3. Then I will place the 3 on this bust point line like this to achieve the length I want my corset to be. Okay, so this be marking my 3 inches from my bust point there. So now I will just go ahead to rule it up like this. I will extend the line like this. Okay, after ruling it up like so, then I will just, this will be my upper bust line, or how will I put it, upper bust line. So now I will do my tightening there. So now I will just come about half an inch on both sides to do the tightening for this upper bust like this. So on both sides I will use half an inch on both sides. Okay, so now I will just connect it from this point there to meet the bust point line like this using a straight ruler. I will just use the, I'll connect the point to meet my bust line like so. You can see that my cup is, my bustier is coming out. Okay, so I will just go ahead to blend this part there because I find that that part there is kind of sharp and we don't need it at all. So now basically that is it. So we have tightening our under bust and our over bust. Now we move over to this center here. You know there is a center, there is a space between the 2 cup. Then to achieve that is to come up from this your bust point to by 1 inch. This all depends on you anyways. You can just maintain your bust points like you maintain your chest line, but I said to come up by 1 inch from my bust point. Then I come out by half an inch. Okay, by the time I open it up, it will be 1 inch. So now I come to the under bust and mark the same thing by half an inch. Then I will use a straight ruler to connect it straight like this. So guys, after connecting my line, I will just blend the other part, that half an inch that I marked, so that it will be prominent. Okay, so now we now have our center, the center between the 2 cups. So now I will just extend this line to meet the under bust like this using a French curve. But note that in this part here, if you want it to be curving at this part, at the down part, okay, just in a simple way, ensure that you place your French curve in a way that it will accommodate your bust very well, and make sure at this part here you just measure it. It should not be more than 1.25. okay, it can be 1 inch but not more than 1.25. It can be 1.25 but not more than 1.25. okay, then if you understand what I'm trying to say here, it should be 1 inch. If it's 1 inch is all accurate. If it is 1.25 is also accurate, but if it's more than 1.25 is not okay. Okay, you can adjust your hand. Okay, so now you can see that the cup here is out, is coming out gradually. So now the next step is to come to this underside now, because we want to create our sweetheart neckline so that it will come out nice. Okay, after making your heart fit. So now for this other side here, I will just measure from this point here down to the other point. Then I will measure it like this, and divide it into two to have the midpoint here. Okay, so I will mark it here. After marking, then I will step that aside and come over to this other side. First thing, I will first of all close my dart. Okay, I will close this dart like this by showing to close it gradually, as in I will do it in a way that it will not turn my paper, my pattern paper. I will just do it carefully and close this dart like this. After closing it, I'll make sure it's very well closed. After closing, then I will now bring out my pattern, my master, my French curve, sorry. Then I'll place it like the way I am doing it now to ensure that the curve meets the center front there, and meets the armhole as well. Okay, let me just turn it so that you will understand what I'm trying to say here, so that you will understand. So you see that I've closed my dart. Then after closing my dart, I'll bring out my French curve. If you don't have French curve, you can use your free hand. Just ensure that this French curve meets that half an inch that will come out with. Then I will just blend it to meet my armhole. But if you don't have a French curve, fine, you can also use your free hand to just connect it from this center front, that's way the center, to meet the armhole. Okay, so you can see that our neckline is out and is looking beautiful. Okay, you can see, and this is a accurate neckline that I'm just bringing out. Okay, so now after creating our neckline, I can see that the first cup is ready. You can see how nice it is. Okay, the first cup is ready. Then I will just go ahead to curve out the other cup. So for the other cup now, I will just maintain that line, that dot we marked earlier. I will maintain it. Then I will just take my French curve to connect that dot to meet this under bust. Okay, if you don't have a French curve, like I said, just use your free hand. Ensure that you connect it rightly, you connect it in a right way. Okay, just connect it like this. Okay, you can see me doing it gradually. You can see that the other side is out, and you can see that you can notice that the side is bigger than the center, in the sense that the side has the bust is fuller at the side. That is the reason why the side is always bigger than the center. So I will just go ahead to label my cup 1 and 2 and make an arrow where the direction will come in. Okay, basically we are done. So I will just go ahead to mark my measurements. Okay, so now we have already done my bust, we have already marked my bust measurement, and I'll come to my waist measurement here, and I will mark my waist measurement. Then I will replace my dart. Okay, after replacing my dart, I'm not adding any seam allowance on this one here. Then for this bust, I will just replace my dart on the bust area. I will mark in my dart. Then I will just go ahead to replace it. Always replace your dart, because without replacing your dart, the outfit will be kind of short. It won't even size that person, that the owner of the dress. Let me just put it like that. Always replace your dart. Okay, so now after replacing my dart, I connect my lines. Basically we've done. So I'll just go ahead to mark out the dart that will be cut out. Okay, you can see that all this part here that I'm ruling out is no longer needed. We are going to cut them off. Okay, so after ruling, I will just go ahead to cut out my pattern. You can see me that I'm cutting out my pattern because we are through with it. I'll just take my time and cut them out. Okay, so guys, after cutting my pattern, this is how it comes out. You can see the cup size there. I'll just go ahead to use my masking tape to hold these two together so that we can see how it comes out. So guys, this is how it comes out after using my masking tape to hold these two together. You can see it comes out nicely. You can see the other cup, it comes out very nicely. Please remember to add your stitching allowance when you want to transfer to your made fabric. Okay, this one is just a pattern drafting. I'm not using it for anything, so that is why I just use my masking tape to hold it together. But if you have drafted your own, please, you want to transfer to your made fabric, ensure that you add a stitching allowance to it. Okay, so you can see my cup is coming out well and it's looking beautiful. Okay, so now without wasting of time, we'll go to the second method. So guys, this is my second pattern paper. I've folded it into two, just like we did for the first pattern. Okay, so now the first thing is to draw out my lines. So guys, this is the other pattern. I've already drafted out my nipple to nipple measurement. So now I will just do my bust tightening there. I come out by 1.5 inches by the side and half inches for the center. Okay, just what we did for the first method. Okay, so now I will just roll it up like this. It's just the same way we did for the first method. Okay, that is what I'm doing here. So now for this bust point like this, I'll just come down by half an inch. Okay, after coming down by half an inch, I will just use my French curve like this to connect it to meet the half an inch that I marked, and come to the other side of the bust for the center, and I will do the same thing as well. So guys, now the next thing is to mark my on over bust. Okay, I'll just take my bust radius just like the way we do earlier, and I will place the bust radius measurement on the bust measurement line and mark. Then this is where it took me to. Then I will just go ahead to use a straight ruler to rule it up like this. Okay, so guys, after ruling, this is what I have now. So now the next step is to create I will create the the part the two the part that differentiate the two cup by using half an inch for it, and I'll come over to the under bust and mark my half an inch as well. Then I will connect it together like this. Okay, just connect like this. So guys, after connecting, now it's time for me to create my cup for the side, for the center. Then just like the way I explained earlier, that you will place a cup or you draw out your cup in a way that it will have a very nice way, so that it will accommodate your bust very well. So by using a guide, just this for just a guide, you just use measure it, let it not be more than 1.25. Okay, can be 1 inches is fine, can be 1.25 is also fine, but let it not be more than 1.25. Okay, so just go ahead to blend it like this. Okay, you can see that it's nice, it's looking nice there. So now for this one here, I will not over tight, or let me say tighten my over bust. Okay, I will not do that. So now I will just come to the other side like this and divide what I have into two. Okay, then after dividing, and I will make a notch on the middle part there, like that is the midpoint. Then I will connect from the midpoint down to my neckline. Okay, you can see just the way we did at the front. We are not we are not tightening the over bust, we just connect like so. Okay, I will just place my curve rule like this, and I will make sure the ruler or the curve rule meets the the half an inch and the same time meet the armhole. Okay, I'll just connect it like this. Okay, so this is what we have after connecting. Then you can see that, okay, you can see what I'm trying to say. Okay, just look at it very well, you understand what I'm trying to say here. So now you can see we have already created our neckline by doing this. Okay, so now the next thing is to just connect from the midpoint down to the under bust. Okay, if you don't have a French curve, please use your free hand. Okay, just ensure that you place it in a way that it will correspond to these 2 points here. Okay, so now you can see our cup is ready. So now for us to, the next step is to come to the bust point line and mark half an inch on both sides for this bust point line. Okay, mark an inch on both sides. Then for this midpoint here, for the center here, you just mark half inch too and come to the center front and also mark half inch. Okay, after marking half inch, come to this side here and mark half inch on both sides of the leg. Okay, hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. Then you connect the line to meet the half inch. Just connect the line like this. Just watch me very well, just watch me very carefully. You will understand what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, I'm making a kind of dart here, a side dart. Okay, just watch me carefully, take your time and watch me, and you will understand what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, just connect all the dots together. Okay, so you can see that I've connected my dart. The reason why I come out by half an inch is for me to eliminate any sharp edge at this point here. Okay, that is the reason why I come out by half an inch, to eliminate any sharp edge so that it will come out nice after cutting. Okay, that is just the reason. So now the next step is just to mark my measurement. Remember, I've marked my bust measurement there. Then I'll come to my waistline and I will mark my waist measurement divided by 4, and I will take my dart, I will place my dart. Okay, so guys, that is it. So I'll just go ahead to connect my lines. Okay, so guys, after connecting, I'll just shade out the part that I will cut off. You can see me shading it out. So guys, I've shaded it out. Now the next thing is to just label my pattern. You can see the upper one is 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 parts here. Okay, so I will just make arrow on the how to join it later, and I make center front and side front. Okay, so that I will not be confused when joining my pattern together. So now basically we are done. I will just go ahead to cut out my pattern out. So guys, I'm done cutting out my pattern. Okay, you can see that we have 3 parts here, the first one, the second one, and the third one. So you can see the side and the center front of the down part. You can see how it sits. So I'll just go ahead to use my masking tape now to join these 3 pattern together. Okay, I'll just go ahead to first of all join the bottom part. So guys, here it comes out looking pretty. Okay, you can see the first part that we did, and this is the second method. You can see the inside is well curved and come out nice. Okay, you You can see how it is. This is the sickle method, which we have 3 parts. Okay, you can see how beautiful it comes out, and the other first part, it also comes out nicely. Okay, you just try this out and it will come out well. This is the first method we did earlier, so you can see that it comes out fine. Okay, so guys, if you find this video helpful, give us a thumbs up, and if you are yet to subscribe, please hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss any video from this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I don't take that for granted. Okay, if you find this video helpful, just click on that like button and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you have for me on the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye. To see you in my next one.